Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Grants Pass CSL. Good to see everybody here this morning. It's a wonderful summer day, and all those out in Zoom land, welcome. You could be from here to Zanzibar, who knows? Anywhere in the world, how about that? It could happen. It could be Paris. We're going to start out this morning. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you, Dave. Let's hear it for Dave. Good morning. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister. Welcome. You know, I got here at 8:30 this morning to start setting up, and there was no power. And I was like, oh, it's going to be an interesting a cappella experience today. Went back to my analog roots. How loud can I oratorially speak? I opened all the windows to get some light in here, but the light came on, and here we are. Well, I want to thank you for being here this morning. I know you have a lot of places you can go on Sunday morning. Your bedroom or the river or anywhere. But well, you're in Grants Pass. I don't need to suggest those. Those are places you find on your own. But I want to draw some attention this morning to the roof. When you leave, take a look. They have started to re-roof this building. The old roof has been removed, and the new white shingles, we're having white shingles put on, which will bring the temperature down in here. And, I just want to say something about this community that supports this center, because, a minister only gets to re-roof once, maybe twice in their tenure. And this is my first roof here. So I expect to be here for several more, but it really is an investment in your spiritual experience, because you're setting the tone for those that come after us. You're putting a roof on a spiritual center that is going to serve people that you don't know. And if you've even given a penny to this center, or even just showed up and spent your love here, you have contributed to the further movement of positivity in this community. So I want to personally thank you for believing in yourself to put a new roof on your spiritual home. So let's hear it for that. So as you leave, go into the parking lot, turn around and look at, they've started by replacing the boards that were the planking that's underneath, and what do they call it? The sheeting, yeah, whatever. And they put new paper, and they have started the white roofing in certain places. But take a look. It's your spiritual energy at work. So, well, we're going to start with what we start with every Sunday, and that's our vision mission statement. So it's up here on the screen. If you'd like to repeat it, you can. We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. We had a fundraiser here for the roof on Friday night. Ann Southcombe gave us her slide presentation. We had about 10 people. We raised about $200. And, it was, every time she does it, I learn a little bit more about her experience with animals. And I just, my heart goes to her for her dedication to animals. I wish I had the same, I wish I could do the same, but she carries, that's her ministry. It's truly her ministry. This is my ministry, that's hers. We understand each other's ministry, cross-pollinate. But it was a wonderful time. Again, we raised about $200, which is great. Every penny helps. So I want to invite up our board president, practitioner, Jamaica Wallace, who's going to give us some announcements. So let's hear it for Jamaica.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, we only have a few announcements today. So coming up in September, we do have a book study class that's going to be starting. Ladder to the Light. Our very own Deborah Perdue will be facilitating this. This is an amazing book written by Stephen Charleston, a Choctaw elder and Episcopalian priest. That one got me, sorry. Pelian, sorry, I knew I was going to do that wrong. I'm so sorry. That dyslexia coming in there. It is filled with wisdom, hope, and prayers. Spirit's messages through him are deep, profound, and beautiful. Join us for 7 weeks, starting September the 12th from 3:30 to 5. This class will include meditation and songs. It's a love offering of $20 per class, and there is a sign-up sheet, and also there's some little flyers there that you can take with you for more information if you'd like. And if you have any questions, you can see Deborah about that. Our very own Wendy Orsa is going to be teaching a couple of classes here in August. She's going to be doing the Dream Catcher crafting class, and that will be Sunday, August the 11th from 12:30 to 2:30. And then the following Sunday, she will be doing chakra balancing meditation with lying stones, and that will be the 18th from 12:45 to 2 p.m. And there are sign-up sheets and more information about those on the back counter as well. Our metaphysical book study continues, and it meets on Sunday mornings over in the LEC building at 9 a.m. and it goes till 9:45. We're still currently studying The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And then the meditation group continues directly after that class. It begins at 9:50 and goes to 10:05. And this is just a silent meditation that we do together. So if you do find you're coming in after the 9:50, if you can just enter silently as to not disturb anybody, that would be fabulous. And then we do have our book of the week, our bookstore. Maria will be operating the bookstore today after service. And we are featuring Healers on Healing. And this will be 20% off in the bookstore today if you're interested. So you can see Maria after service. And moving on to our flowers, they are so beautiful, from Paula Peterson and her garden. Thank you, Paula and Ralph. Thank you. Do we have anybody that's joining us for the first time? Raise your hand. We have a gift we'd like to extend to you. Nobody? All the Peters? No? Okay. All right. If anybody has any of those little pesky little cell phones or anything else that makes noise, if you could just put that on silence or turn it off for a little bit, we would appreciate it. And that is the end of my announcements today. So if you will please stand, we will sing We Are One. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Paula Peterson, and I'm honored to be your podium practitioner today. Please join me in reading the gratitude up on the screen. How glad I am to celebrate the beauty of living an imperfect life. I love myself completely. That's wonderful. What is a practitioner and what do we do? On the seat back in front of you, there is a goldenrod sheet that explains about practitioners, and there are phone numbers there for you to call if you'd like prayer during the week. If you have a prayer request, this is the form to fill out. Go ahead and fill that out, and you can put it in the basket when it comes around or in the box at the back. And the practitioners will pray for you all week. When you have a demonstration, then please fill out this blue form. We love to know, and we expect that your prayers are answered. Thank you. If you want to submit a form online, you can go to grantspasscsl.org. Today, our table practitioner is the lovely Jamaica Wallace. She is holding the high watch for us, which means she is holding this container for all those present and online, also on Zoom. Hello, everyone. She is holding that container of love, God's love and light, the highest and best for each one of us here. Thank you, Jamaica. Also, if you would like a short affirmative prayer after the service, I'd like to point out Jamaica and know that you can go back there and she will pray with you. And if she is already engaged in prayer, she can direct you to another practitioner. And if you are a practitioner and you are here and can pray with someone, please raise your hand today. So there's Bucky and myself and Deborah and Jamaica. Great. Thank you. Together, let's read the prayer up on the screen. I let go of the limitations of not good enough or not yet. I open myself up to an expansive and amazing experience of life. And now let's sing I Am Loved. Please remain seated. Thank you, Dave. So I've never read anything by Reverend Josh Reeves, and he is the one doing the daily guides for the month of July. And there would be many options for today's topic, which is the whole month is practice makes imperfect, and then today's is perfectly imperfect, an expansive experience. So as I was looking through here, I found just a super fun one that I probably would have read no matter what the topic was today, just because it tickled my funny bone and I really enjoyed it. So this is what he said for July 17th. I'm driving my daughter to school, running a little late and thus a little high-tempered. I don't know about you, but my biggest fear isn't public speaking or dying alone. It's that I might be a minute late to anything. My daughter sees this me who isn't as kind and patient as normal. We had a tough exchange on our way out the door. Why aren't your boots on? I asked. It's time to go. My daughter is silent in the car for a while, but then says, Daddy, I want you to know that even when you're being mean, I forgive you. Grace, relief, awakening, the end of my own self-rejection. This is what salvation feels like, I say to myself. Saved by an angel, a muse, a Buddha, a Jedi in a car seat. I wonder if this is a part of what Jesus meant when he said, you have to be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. Can I be wise enough, deep enough, loving enough to forgive like a child? Who am I to deserve such grace to be forgiven by a child? Perhaps to enter God's kingdom, not in the afterlife, but in this life, is to embrace a childlike forgiveness and accept wholeheartedly that we are always God's beloved child, even when we are too busy being too grown up to remember it. I was so touched by this, by the power of self-love and self-acceptance. So I encourage you with that thought in your heart to go into the silence. So I encourage you today to bask in God's love and grace, the power of self-love and self-forgiveness, holding yourself lightly like a child. And I bless this time together. I bless this service, knowing the highest and best for each one of us. And so it is. Thank you. And now we will have wonderful music by Dave and then Reverend Steve's amazing message. Thank you.
You know, folks, we're living in an exciting time of the year, real exciting time of the year. And of course, we're celebrating the 55th anniversary of landing on the moon. And also, we are celebrating every 4 years of the World Olympics. How about that? Isn't that something? And it just kind of brings the world energy together. I have a song for you right now. I play about every 4 years. And this is a song called One Light and One Sun. One light, one sun, one sun lighting everyone. One world turning, one world turning everyone. One world, one home, one world home for everyone. One dream, one song heard by everyone. One love, one heart warming everyone. One hope, one joy, one love filling everyone. One light, one sun lighting everyone. One world turning, one world turning everyone. One sun, one light, one sun lighting everyone. One world turning, one home for everyone. One world, home for everyone.
Well, good morning. Let me just make an adjustment here. Well, welcome to the last talk of July. Do you believe it? Our summer is in full swing. Is fall just around the corner? No, it's not. No. But let me turn this down just a little bit. Things are changing. Have you guys felt a change? Not in the weather, but in the energy of life. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, and some of you may go, what are you talking about? I don't feel anything. Well, yeah. Well, July's theme is Practice Makes Imperfect. And today's title is Perfectly Imperfect, an Expansive Experience. So, this week we celebrate the beauty of living an imperfect life. Is your life perfect? Absolutely, in all of its imperfection. Sometimes you spill the milk, don't you? Now, when you spill the milk, how do you treat yourself? Do you get ticked off? Do you get like, oh, you stupid such and such a oh, how could you look at the mess you made? Or do you go, oh, look at that. Whoa. Where's my camera? I want to get a picture. I want to get a picture of the spilt milk because nobody spills it like I do. Because it was a beautiful array, a pattern of splash. I don't even know how it got into the cat's dish over there. It's perfect. But it really is in that moment of how we treat ourselves that we realize how we're treating the infinite. Would you say that to Christ consciousness? Would you say, you stupids, why did you even get out of bed? Why were you even born? Would you say that to the infinite? I think not. And if you would, you've got to really, really do some inner work. But that's okay. That's okay. I've been there. That was my experience at times. But how do we hold ourselves when we've made some silly mistake? Can we laugh at ourselves and go, you know what? Yeah, oh, look at you, Steve. You apparently the world does not know you are a reverend and they're just, forgive them for they know not what they do. No, it's life. It's part of life. Why don't you make the imperfections perfect? Maybe that's guiding you to something else. Have you ever had that happen where something didn't work out and it worked in a bigger way that you could have never planned. You know, when you're open to that energy, when you get delayed and you're supposed to be somewhere and you're late, maybe you're supposed to be a little late, fashionably late. So, by recognizing the inherent beauty and potential in our perceived imperfections, we open ourselves up to an expansive experience of life. All of a sudden, things that used to really tick us off are blessing us because we're open to it. So let's delve a little bit into this power of self-compassion and self-acceptance and cultivate a sense of wholeness in the midst of life's challenges. Right now, we are living through an incredible time in human experience. There's been a shift in the last few months. I don't know if you felt it or not. Maybe you felt even uncomfortable in your body. Maybe you felt a little itchy. Like just being alive is like, whoa. But that's because there's new energy that's being presented to us. You know, they used to say the veil is thin between the worlds. Well, the veil has been completely removed. There is no veil now. You have the ability to access anything that you choose to consciously. So be careful with your thoughts. Be aware of what you're thinking, because things that used to take 6 months are now taking like 6 hours. Things that used to take 6 hours are happening instantaneously. So be careful of what you think, and are you ready to experience the result of what you're thinking? Because you are in control. And this can work to your advantage in healing. Maybe there's something that you've been carrying for a long time that it's time to let go of. And I don't know about you, but you know, sometimes we carry things from our childhood and we don't even know it until something triggers us. You ever get triggered? Oh man. Anyway, back to my talk. This week focuses on embracing the beauty of our imperfection and living authentically within our challenges. Maybe your challenges are set there to show you a new way of expressing. Maybe they're exactly the right energy to move you into a new way of being in life. So we understand that this pursuit of perfection is a misunderstanding that limits our experience and potential. You know, if we want to just be perfect all the time, we may be missing a whole different energetic that we are being presented because we only see things a certain way. What if you're missing the mark? That's what the word sin means. Sin is an archery term, means you miss the mark. Maybe in missing the mark, you're developing your aim. And what does a good archer do when they've missed the mark? They pull another arrow and try again. If you just stopped after you didn't hit the bullseye the first time, well, then why would you give up? You're here to take many shots. You're here to refine yourself. I mean, if you stopped playing piano after your first recital, you wouldn't be here playing piano today. So sometimes we have to find out how not to do something to do it better. And even when it's perfect, you can go see a concert and talk to the musician after, that was perfect. And they'll go, yeah, but you know, in the second song and the second verse, I really forgot the line. You know, they'll find some imperfection to tell you about, but you didn't see it. They masterfully incorporated it into their symphony. And that's what we do in life. We incorporate our challenges in a way that we meant to do that. Oh, I meant to spill the milk like that. I wanted to see how it would spray over the carpeting. So by letting go of the idea of you're not being good enough, or it's not going to happen yet, maybe it's not the time. If it's not happening now, maybe now's not the time for it to be happening. And can you be okay with that? Yeah, but I wanted it to happen now. Ugh. Release. Let go of that energy. See, our disappointment comes from our attachment to it being a certain way. And then when it doesn't happen that certain way, then we're ticked off. You know, it's been said that expectation is premeditated disappointment. You know, if we expect it to be a certain way and it doesn't happen, then we're going to be disappointed. I knew it. It always happens. Always happens. They're never on time. Well, Spirit is always on time, in time, at exactly the right time. So in this week's exploration, we introduce practical strategies for navigating these challenges of life with grace and resilience. We discover the power of reframing our perspective and shifting from a critical lens to one of gratitude and appreciation for the unique journey that we're on. What if you loved yourself so much that whatever you do was perfect in its imperfection? And you just went, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Still tastes just as good. Crumbling cookies are nice and soft, aren't they? By embracing this imperfection and living authentically, we align ourselves with the truth of who we are. You're never going to get it all done. You're never going to get it exactly right. So enjoy the process. Just go, hey, I guess I'm not going to be there at that time. Okay, let's enjoy our delayed progress. And it's in that enjoyment of the challenge that new opportunities are born, new gifts, new ways of being open with ourselves and not being so hard on ourselves. You know, we are our worst critics, aren't we? We are, oh, well, you could have done it better, or you could have, would have, should have. Don't should all over yourself. Let it go. Let it go, man. Let it go. By embracing this imperfection, we begin to live authentically. We align ourselves with the truth of who we are and experience a profound new sense of joy and fulfillment in our challenges. How cool is that? Like, your challenges are your leading edge of opportunity. We recognize that life's imperfections are not obstacles, but stepping stones towards our personal and spiritual growth. You just happened in here. You just fell into this sanctuary. Look at you. You had no idea what was going to happen. You woke up this morning and stumbled over to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living just to see what was going on. How imperfect is that? Imperfection is the pathway to self-discovery. Rather than striving for an unattainable idea of perfection, we shift our focus to embracing our imperfections as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. So I was an event coordinator for 8 years for the home office for CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living. It was wonderful because I got to do the Asilomar conferences, which, you know, to be paid to go to Asilomar every year was an incredible experience. Well, for the last couple of years, I got to be the manager of the event. And the very last year that I did it, the Asilomar Conference Center called me and said, you might want to rethink having your conference at this time because they're going to be filming a movie and we're going to have to move your people off the campus at certain times and into certain buildings. That I said, no, we want to be there. And they were filming the movie The Shift by Wayne Dyer. I was like, we get to be there during the movie filming with Wayne Dyer? No, we're not moving anything. I knew this was a blessing, and I got my committee together to pray about this. There's a committee that was formed to put this on. Well, during the week, they were doing certain things in certain buildings, and I had purchased this thing called a gobo. And it is a real powerful, you hook it up to a powerful light, and it's a piece of metal that has a logo on it. And when you put the light behind it, you can, shine it on the wall and your logo shows up. Well, there was no place to put this thing. There was no light it was going to fit. So I put it right above the stage, and it shone down right in front of the place. Nobody could see it. If you're sitting here, it's on the floor, right? I'm thinking, well, there's my $170. I'll just write that off. Well, it just so happened that we had a situation where they had used our room for the movie, and they unplugged all of our audio. And that night when we went to do our experience, we couldn't get our audio to work. We finally did get it working, but the next day the crew said, hey, how's everything going? I said, well, I had some problems last night with the audio because you unplugged it. And they, oh, we're so sorry. We want to pay for all of your attendees for one day of the conference. And I was like, how do I even go about that? I said, if you can have Wayne Dyer speak to us for 5 minutes, all is forgiven. And they're like, well, he's pretty busy. He's filming a movie. I'm like, well, you asked. And, and so that Wednesday, our keynote speaker calls me in the morning and says, I have vertigo and I can't drive. So I sent a car into where she was living, a limo to pick her up. And she said, look, I can do about 15 minutes. Well, I got my little committee together and we talked about it, prayed about it. And I contacted Wayne Dyer's people and said, if Wayne can speak to us tonight, it would be a good night for him to show up. And they got back to me and said, it's not going to work and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And we brought Rachel Remen in. And just before she got there, his people called and said, he's agreed to do it. He's agreed to speak for 5 minutes. I'm like, yes. So, because they were filming a movie, they had all these stars there. And they decided to put chairs in the front, like right at the stage. And there's my thing right in the front. And the star of the movie, her partner was very famous celebrity by the name of Ellen. And she sat right there. So when they introduced her, she stood up and she was right in where I had put the gobo. I couldn't have planned it any better. That she was standing right in the light. And it was like, how could I have planned that, right? So it was one of those things that happened. He came and he spoke for 50 minutes. And afterwards I said, hey, Wayne, what would you have charged us, to, he goes, I wouldn't have spoke for a small group like 500, that's not what I do anymore. He goes, it'd probably be about $50,000. I was like, that was my budget for the entire week at the conference. I was like, it was a gift. It was a gift that he gave us I mean, I couldn't have planned it any perfect, but you see how all these imperfections lined up. Because I went with it, our people came away with a experience of Wayne Dyer speaking to us for an hour. And I'm sitting in the front row with Rachel Remen, who was our keynote speaker. And she leans over and she says, he's my, opening act. Because after he was done, she got up and she did her 15 minutes because she was having vertigo, so she couldn't stand for very long. But you see how when we lean into imperfection, that a miracle can happen. I'm just telling you this because I've seen it at work. And things happen like this in your life where when you go with an imperfection, instead of cursing it, you bless it and go, this too is good. This too is God, and I demand to see the blessing in this. All of a sudden, a miracle shows up. But you have to be ready for it. Miracles only show up when you are an energetic match to a miracle. And right now, the atmosphere is ripe with changing energy. And as we, instead of resist this shift that we're all in, go, you know what? I am open to new energy. All of a sudden you get swept up in the current of positivity, because that's what's happening here. There is a new current of positivity that is opened up. And if you don't want it and you resist it, the universe says, yes, let me show you resistance. But if you say yes, you can be swept into a new current, just like stepping into a beautiful Rogue River rafting experience, and be taken to the natural beauty of this land. But if you say no, and you sit home in the heat and the smoke, that's on you. I'm just saying. Okay, back to my talk. Rather than striving for an unattainable idea of perfection, we shift our focus to embracing our imperfections as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By recognizing the inherent beauty and potential in our flaws, we open ourselves up to a new journey of self-exploration and transformation. So let's learn how to cultivate that self-expression and acceptance. We explore the power of self-compassion and acceptance as essential tools for navigating the challenges of life. What if your challenges are not trying to bring you down, but show you new opportunity? By offering ourselves kindness and understanding, we create a nurturing environment for personal growth and self-expression. That's why you're here. You are on the cutting edge of a miracle. You know, you're only one mouse click away from a miracle. You're only one prayer away from a miracle, but you have to do the work. And it's only ours when we're in the energy of miraculous energy. If you're in resistance, a miracle could show up in your life and you go, never happens to me anyway. And the miracle chooses the path of least resistance. If you resist, it persists being a challenge. It is through self-acceptance that we embrace our unique journey and find peace and fulfillment in embracing those places where we feel imperfect. So how do we learn to live an authentically joyous life? We delve into the profound impact of embracing imperfection as part of our overall well-being and spiritual journey, which turns our challenges into joy. And literally, music flies out of the dog do. It's a very spiritual term there. But it can if we look for the miracle. By letting go of the need for external validation and societal expectations, we align ourselves with our true essence and learn to live authentically. Embracing our imperfections allows us to cultivate a sense of freedom and self-expression and joy that arise from living in alignment with our authentic true selves. You were sent here to thrive, to be grateful for everything that happens, even your challenges. So when something comes up that's not in alignment with your expectations, say, I know that the divine has a bigger expectation that I can even conceive of, and I'm open to that. I leave my limited perspective at the door. It will be there for me if I decide to pick it up on the way out. So in conclusion, these ideas emphasize the transformative power of embracing imperfection. Right now, we are in a place where we're being shown different ways. There is an importance to self-compassion and acceptance and the joys that come from living authentically in our challenges and loving it. Loving it. By exploring these themes, we deepen our understanding of the beauty and potential within imperfection and make it perfect for us. You are perfect. Whatever's going on is perfect. And the moment that you release that energy of resistance, you become part of the healing. So we invite a greater sense of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and joy into our lives as we accept ourselves exactly the way we are, perfectly imperfect. We are invited to embrace imperfection as a catalyst for transformation and let go of any unrealistic expectations to live a life authentically, having self-compassion and joy for whatever is happening. And by doing so, we create a vibrant and expansive experience of life that reflects our inherent inner beauty and potential. And so it is. Thank you, Tapatu. He always gets so much out of my talks. So I invite you to take a moment and close your eyes if that's comfortable, or take a soft focus on the beautiful flowers that are here today. And let's go within and remember who we are. So I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you believe is the energy that created you. That miraculous energy of transformation, of love, of divine Christ consciousness. That energy that is animating your body, that is breathing your body, beating your heart, and causing the sun to shine, is the same energy of healing that is moving all the right cells in your body to the perfect place for divine healing to happen all the time. For that energy brings the ideas into your consciousness that transform your life, that give you new ideas, that allow you to experience the abundance of this new energy that is being presented to us in this world of form. And as we align ourselves with that new energetic, we are swept up in the healing essence of thriving, of living our best life, of the miraculous energy that we were put here to experience, to manifest, and to bask in. So it is easy to give great thanks. I may not know what you're working with right now, but I know that Source Energy knows exactly what's going on and is right now presenting you with new ideas to see things in different ways as you become part of your own healing journey. For the common denominator in each one of our situations is you. And as we transform our mind and get on the side of the healing and be grateful, we live in the gratitude of love. For my friends, love is the answer to all questions. So we give great thanks for being the love in every situation, for turning away from what doesn't work, not to deny it, but not to give it any more power. And we turn into the love, the healing, and the miraculous energy that we were brought to this plane of existence to experience. So we let go. We release this directly into the living, loving law of mind where a new energy has been created as who and what we are. And we give great thanks as we let go and let God be God as who and what we are. And we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, Tapatu. Okay, it's time for our prosperity affirmation. So I invite you to take your gift and place it on your heart, and let's recite this together. Feeling the absolute abundance of life, I know I am prosperous beyond measure, and I give back generously to this center, which gives me much to me. So it is. Dave? Thank you, Dave. Let's say a prayer for our offertory this morning. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They are evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in this world by blessing the giver and the receiver, and allow this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be open and available to those who are seeking to remember who they are and for those who may not even know it yet. And for that, this entire community and world is blessed with positive, thriving, loving energy. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Okay, let's stand up and sing our final song, shall we? And now for our benediction, please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now. Something wonderful is happening right now. It's happening in my mind. It's happening in my